Так, все, можемо починати, Леся.
Добрий день, дорогі друзі. Дозвольте вам почати представлення Вільнюського технічного університету імені Гедимінаса. Мене звати Леся Колінець, я доктор економічних наук, доцент кафедри економічної інженерії Вільнюського технічного університету імені Гедимінаса. Я приїхала в Литву в 2003 році і, в принципі, зразу ж почала роботу в нашому університеті, в цьому університеті. І можу сказати, що я ні на хвилинку не пошкодувала про свій вибір. І керівництво, і всі працівники університету з великою добротою і лояльністю відносяться до всіх українців, як до українських студентів, так і до нас, працівників. У нас в Вільнюському університеті сформувалася велика українська община. На кожній спеціальності, практично в кожній групі, в кожній англомовній програмі ви знайдете українських студентів. Тож ви тут не будете одні, і ви дуже легко знайдете собі тут друзів і з легкістю інтегруєтеся. І що є дуже важливим, для всіх українських студентів зараз є 40% знижки на навчання протягом усіх 4 років. Тож це чудова нагода цього року вступити в наш університет. І крім того, у Вільнюському технічному університеті є чудова матеріальна база. І матеріальна база не тільки для технічних спеціальностей, але і не для технічних, зокрема і для економічних теж. І під час сьогоднішньої презентації ви зможете в цьому переконатися. Тож, дорогі друзі, не вагайтеся, не втрачайте можливості отримати якісну європейську освіту, обирайте освітню програму, яка вам найбільше підходить, подавайте заявку, поступайте, і ми будемо раді бачити вас в нашому університеті, будемо раді бачити вас в наших стінах. Тож, до зустрічі! Зараз мої колеги продовжать презентацію, вже конкретніше про умови вступу, про всі освітні програми. Тож залишайтеся, через хвилинку буде продовження. Дякую за увагу.
Thank you, Lesa. We have a great Ukrainian community in our university. And my name is Dovile, and I'm the director of International Studies Center here at VILNIUS TECH. And I will shortly introduce you about the opportunities that Ukrainian students do have at VILNIUS TECH, how to apply, what kind of scholarships do we offer, and as well, you know, all kinds of activities that we have here in the university for international students. So first of all, I would like to invite you to watch a short video about the university that would represent our identity, let's say, and the technical aspect of the university.
What drives the future of mobility? Wheels, wings, or code? How do we engineer for a world that's constantly changing? What does it take to design cities that don't push people out? How can we cool a warming world with smarter systems? What new materials will reshape our industries? When will automation replace human labor? Will AI think like us or beyond us? And how do we prepare for challenges we can't yet define? We don't have all the answers. But in our labs, in our classrooms, in our minds, we shape the future one idea at a time. And the real question is, what will we ask tomorrow?
Yeah, thank you for watching the video. I will start now my presentation and the introduction. If you have any questions, feel free to write them in the chat box. My colleagues are here answering them. It's not only me, I have more people. So feel free, and later on as well, we will have a short Q&A session. So about Vilnius Tech and about Lithuania. Lithuania is a country, a small country in Northern Europe. Around 3 million of people do live in Lithuania. And the capital city is Vilnius, where as well our university is located. So Vilnius is one of the, last year actually, it was the greenest capital of Europe. Overall, it is a very green city. We have over 600,000 inhabitants in the country, in the city. It's a very diverse and young city. A lot of people do speak foreign languages. So as a foreigner as well, you will not feel excluded. You know. Some facts and figures about the university. So university has been founded in 1966. So this year, the university is celebrating 70 years anniversary. As well, we will have a big celebration in September. At the moment, we have around 10,000 students studying in the university, and 25% of those students are international students. We have as well around 300 students from Ukraine who have who do study on full-time study basis, and this is quite a community that we nurture as well. We also have around 300 business and university partners all around the world, and we have students studying from 90 countries here in the university. Our vision and mission is, of course, to be in a place of excellence for higher education and for high technologies. And as well, we want to nurture and inspire talents to foster creative minds, responsible individuals that can, solve the problems of tomorrow. Our new, let's say, culture that we focus around is called a tech culture, that all university activities, let's say, and decisions and research is conducted according to some principles, to technological responsibility, to creating systems, to becoming a huge creative community as a laboratory overall. So overall at Vilnius Tech, we do have 11 faculties that offer, each of the faculty do offer studies in English. We majorly focus on engineering and technologies, but as well we have a school of architecture, a very strong school of architecture, I would mention, as well as business school and faculty of creative industries with communication degrees that we offer. Our newest addition to the university as well, we have acquired a Lithuanian Maritime Academy. So as well, we do offer marine studies and marine navigation studies in English in this faculty. The Lithuanian Maritime Academy is not located in Vilnius. It is located in Klaipėda, in the port city, next to the seaside overall. So why should you consider your studies at Vilnius Tech? It is one of the biggest research universities here in Lithuania. It is #1 technical university overall. We offer undergraduate, graduate, and PhD studies as well, both in Lithuanian and fully taught in English language for international students. Our degrees are fully recognized all over the world. And as well, we offer exchange and placement programs in more than 400 partner universities all around the world. As well, students can study on a scholarship basis, having a 50% or 100% discount from the tuition fee. And as my colleague Lesia already mentioned, that all Ukrainian students can get a 40% discount automatically applied if they are accepted for studies in the university. Also, at the moment, all international students can work full-time living in the country with a temporary residence permit. The rules allow this. But we hear possible changes coming, that the bachelor's degree students, at least first-year students, will not be allowed to work full-time. But at the moment, it is still possible. In bachelor's level, we do offer 22 study programs that are fully taught in English language. We offer studies in the fields of engineering sciences, informatics and technological sciences, and as well social sciences and arts. All bachelor's degree study programs are 4 years long, except for the professional bachelor's degree studies and logistics and transport management studies, which are 3.5 years long. But the regular academic bachelor's degree studies are 4 years long. All students will have a professional internship included within the studies, and as well as graduation will be finalized with preparing a bachelor thesis and defending it. After graduation, all students also get a 1-year stay-back option with a temporary residence permit looking for a job after graduation. So at the moment in Lithuania, for sure, we are looking how to get more graduates to stay back in the country. So there are all kinds of different incentives for post-graduation internships and other incentives to get to the job market much quicker as well. Yeah. In professional's bachelor's degree, we offer 5 study programs that are fully taught in English language. These studies are held in Klaipėda, in the port city of Lithuania, in the Lithuanian and VILNIUS TECH Lithuanian Maritime Academy. You can specialize in marine navigation. There are 3 study programs that are called seagoing studies, where the students where overall the career and the studies are based on students working in the vessels and ships, so meaning that they would be going to the sea. So these study programs are marine electrical and electronic engineering, marine navigation, and marine engineering. And there are 2 study programs that are land-related study programs. So one of them is offshore wind turbine engineering and port and shipping engineering management. So this is a port technologies and services for the port overall. In master's degree, we do offer 25 study programs that are also fully taught in English. The master's degree studies are from 1.5 to 2 years long. So 1.5 years, it is usually in social sciences and arts, and 2 years studies in engineering and technologies and IT studies. So the master's degree studies are all research-based studies. So all students will have to work on their research thesis throughout the whole period of their studies. And the last semester is dedicated to preparing the thesis only. And in the end, the thesis needs to be defended, and the students are awarded the master's degree. So master's degree programs are more specialized when they are bachelor's degree studies. So you can choose from more specific fields for your studies. like artificial intelligence, cybersecurity, biomedical engineering, or renewable energy engineering. So these are much more specialized than you have in the bachelor's degree studies. Yeah. And if you are interested in researcher's career or becoming a lecturer here in the university as well, we do offer 12 PhD fields of study for admission, and you can choose from technological sciences, social sciences, natural sciences, and humanities. So if we look at the admission requirements for Ukrainian students, the application deadline for Ukrainian students a bit varies from our main deadline that we have for all international students. So for Ukrainian students, it is extended until the 1st of August, once you get your final examination results and so on. For application, you must complete your application online at apply.vilniustech.lt, as well as you need to provide your high school graduation certificate and the national test results, which are not less than 60% from the 100% maximum evaluation. Also, you will need to record an interview and provide all your personal information about yourself. English language proficiency of level B2. We also accept Duolingo online certificate, which is a minimum of 95 score. And as I mentioned already, but I want to repeat myself one more time, that a 40% discount will be automatically applied from the tuition fee for any Ukrainian students that do apply. So if you want to, so the tuition fees with the 40% discount for 1 year is around 2,000 to 3,000 euros for a bachelor's degree studies and professional bachelor's degree studies. In architecture, this is a bit more expensive study program. So with the discount, it is 5,400 euros. 3,750 euros per year. And for the master's degree studies, it is around 4,000 to 5,000 euros per year for the studies. For the cost of living here in Vilnius, you would need around 550 euros per month, including all facilities and accommodation if you would be staying on campus. If you are staying outside campus, of course, the living expenses can be a bit more higher, because depending which part of the city do you live, where do you rent your apartment, are you sharing, are you living alone, and so on. And as well, food is a major expense in here. So depending on how do you cook? Do you buy a prepared food? Do you eat in the canteens and cafeterias? So your expenses can be minimized or can be even bigger, you know. If you also want to get a higher discount or like a scholarship, which covers more than a 40% discount from the tuition fee, you can apply for a Vilnius Tech scholarship. There is a separate scholarship application required for that. So you can get either a 50% discount, which would be additional 10% discount from the 40% that you already have automatically, or you can get a full scholarship, which offers a 100% discount from the tuition fee, which the scholarships are as well awarded for the whole period of studies. So meaning for the 4 years of studies if you are applying for bachelor's, and for 2 years of studies if you are applying for master's degree studies. And if you do not have academic debts, the scholarship is continued every semester. So I cannot stress it more, but if you really want to get a bigger discount than 40%, you must submit your applications online before 20th of April. even if you do not have your final documents yet. So get your high school transcripts and so on, and the documents that are like our predicted grades. But usually we do accept the transcripts that are coming from 9th, 10th, and 11th grade up to date. You submit, you apply with the transcripts, and additionally, we take into account your motivation, your interview, your references, and extracurriculum activities if you have done related to your future studies, if you have participated in any Olympiads, if your English language knowledge is higher than B2 level, and so on. For everything, you can get additional points. So actually, in the end, the GPA is not a final deciding factor, but if you have a minimum GPA of 70% or 80%, you can then apply for a Vilnius Tech scholarship. Yeah. And for master's degree studies, there is a Lithuanian state scholarship for the full-time master's degree studies. 70 grants in total. 60 of those grants usually are dedicated to Ukrainian citizens. So we for sure invite you to submit your applications for the master's degree studies and for getting a state scholarship as well. The deadline for the state scholarship as well is 20th of April. Yeah. So I have also my next slides that are concerning the temporary residence permit for the studies. So this is just a basic information that you probably need to know before coming to Lithuania. At the moment, the Ukrainians mainly do have a refugee status here in Lithuania, but as well, the ones that come for the study basis, they do get a student status. So there is an option to apply for a temporary residence permit before leaving Ukraine in Ukraine, or as you do have a 90 days free entry to the Schengen area, you can come into Lithuania and immediately submit your application for a temporary residence permit here in Lithuania. What you need for that, you will need to also bring your police clearance or non-conviction certificate from Ukraine, which confirms that you do not have any criminal record. And this certificate needs to be legalized with an apostille. So this document needs to be prepared in advance and then brought here in Lithuania because it needs to be submitted together with the temporary residence permit application to the Immigration Department overall. We also offer accommodation to all of our first-year students on campus. We do have double or triple rooms available for the students. The monthly cost is from 140 to 240 euros per month for a place in a room. And we also take a 600 euro deposit, which is also repaid if you do not cause any damage after leaving the dormitory. If you have any, if you like arts and other activities and sports, we also offer you to join our clubs that we have: theater, choir, folk dance group, tourist club, orchestra, as well as mentors and buddies program that we have. We have ambassadors program, and as well you can, practice your sports activities if you do them professionally as well. We do have various sports facilities and trainers for that. So like volleyball, basketball, football, wrestling, field and track, and then tennis and others. If you are a practicing sportsman and we do not have a trainer yet, our Sports and Arts Center is always ready to look for how to help all these sportsmen to graduate from our university as well, and to give them options to practice their sport. And all students will have a mentor assigned before coming. So this is like a buddy which can help you on your first days of your coming here in Lithuania. Exchange studies as well are possible for all our full-time students. You can make them in over 400 our partners all around the world, you know. And our very interesting space and place to be create, you know, if you are a maker, prototyper, if you want to, you know, work with your hands, we got you covered. We have all the equipment available, and we have also trainers available if you want to work with woodwork, mechanics work, electronics, 3D printing, offset printing. We have the whole Fox Real Studio for video, audio production, post-production, and so on. Virtual reality laboratory where the students create gaming experiences and so on. So a lot of opportunities to become a maker, you know, to realize your ideas, because every good idea starts from a game, you know. Every good invention as well starts from the game or from a good idea and the support you can get overall, you know. So yeah, that is it about my presentation. I invite you to ask the questions as well in the chat box, but also we held our monthly Q&A sessions every month. The one in February has already passed, but the next Q&A session we will have is on 17th of March. If you would have any questions about the application, about documents, admission, which study program to choose, and so on, feel free to join the Q&A session or contact us at admissions.vilniustech.lt. And if you want to meet our faculties and to see them, you know, how they represent themselves and talk about their studies specifically, we will be holding an online open day on 18th of March. You can register with the link in the top box that you see in the green box, and we will send you a reminder. And even if you cannot participate in the online open day on the 18th of March lively, I encourage you to register, because we will have all the recordings available after the event will be held, and we will share with you so you can check them out on your time. You know. So thank you so much for listening to me. I hope you will consider Vilnius Tech for your future studies. Submit your applications online at apply.vilniustech.lt. I want to also mention that Ukrainian students are waived from paying an application fee. So submitting an application is free of charge for you, you know, and you can also check out our social media at Vilnius Tech International on Facebook and on Instagram, where they share our daily life, how our students are spending their days, how our faculties are living, you know, and their daily lives and their interesting stories. So thank you so much, and now I would be ready for the questions and answers series. Okay, so yeah, interview, how does it work? A live online conversation or a recorded video with answers to preset questions? So yeah, we are actually using a specific software for collecting an interview. So you will just need to, once you get a link for the interview, you will need to sit down, you know, find a quiet place. You need a webcam and you need a microphone. You will need to sit down. The questions will appear for you on the screen, and you will have 5 seconds for preparation, and then the system will start automatically recording, And once you are finished, they will submit a recording to us. But in some cases, if you feel that the recorded interview is not representing you well, or we still have quite some questions, or we didn't understand you well, it was too short, or something like that, we can invite you for a live interview with our admissions officer here from Vilnius Tech. But this happens not very often, but in some cases you can be invited for a live interview. Okay, let's display. LinkMenų fabrikas. Can bachelor students use the equipment, 3D print and media studies for their own startup projects or only within courses? Yeah, students can use the equipment. There is a specific booking system that you need to book in order to use the equipment. And as well, in the first, you will be able to book the equipment only if you pass the safety training. So first of all, we do organize safety trainings for all the students. They can register. You pass the safety training. After that, you can start booking the equipment and working with it. So it is available for the students. Support for Ukrainians. You mentioned support for Ukrainians. What exactly is included right now? Yeah, so we do offer 40% discount from the tuition fee for the whole period of studies. This is quite a thing. Actually, a university gives around 300,000 euros in discount for Ukrainian students every year. So we feel that it is quite a support that we can give. Additionally, we waive the 100 euro application fee. So students do not need to pay the application fee when applying to the university as well. Also our government offers some incentives, but these are for the people who get the refugee status. If you are coming on a student status, unfortunately, you then will not get any additional support, and you will need to cover your living expenses and a part of the tuition fee that you need to pay for the university. Business partnerships. It is realistic to get internship with the partner companies you mentioned, Google or Microsoft. Maybe Google or Microsoft, it is not too realistic, you know. They accept 5-6 students from all Lithuania. So of course you need to be very, very very smart and have a lot of achievements in order to be there. But in many of our business partners like Western Union, Accenture, FL Techniques, huge IT companies, banks, Danske Bank, and so on, they come to our university to recruit the students, actually. So job market for engineering and IT graduates, it's really good in Lithuania at this point. So actually we have companies looking for the graduates or even recruiting students that are still studying for their studies. And professional internship, it is quite typical that the students choose a company for professional internship in which they really want to work, and very typical to get a job offer after professional internship as well. You know. Will the deposit of dormitory be paid before arrival? Yes, it needs to be paid before arrival in order to make a reservation. So there, once you are accepted to the university, you will get access to the university system. In there, you will be able to make a reservation for the dormitory. But to confirm your reservation, you will need to upload a receipt of a paid deposit overall. Yeah, Foxridge Studio is a virtual production studio available to students from all faculties or only for the creative industries field. Yeah, at the moment, the equipment that we have in the Foxridge Studio is a very professional equipment. It is not available for students. It is truly professional. We work with the industry in there, but what we do, we involve students in the projects that we have with the industry as helpers, as as interns and so on. So basically what we do, we film all kinds of movies. Actually, we film movies, we film advertisements and so on. And the students are there to see the whole process and to help for the professional staff. Yeah. So these all the questions we had, I think. Oh, one more. What is the ratio of theory to practical work, lab work in the curriculum? Yeah, so each subject, you do have a theoretical part, laboratory work, and practical part. In some cases, there is either, sometimes there is no laboratory works, or sometimes there is no practical part, but there is always one or another, theory plus something, plus practical or plus labs, and quite typical, it is plus practical plus labs. Usually the theoretical hours are quite similar to the practical hours. For example, I teach a subject of electronic business systems. We have 15 hours of theory and 15 hours of labs. So it is actually same time you give for the theory, and same time you give for practicing and learning to use tools to understand things and to practice what you learned throughout the theory. Can students work on projects in aerospace engineering or aviation? How does the process work? Yeah, we have a full Antanas Gustaitis Aviation Institute. As well, we do have research projects in which we do involve students as well, but in there you need to be, interested in research and so on. But overall, during your studies, you will have quite a lot of projects, depending, especially in aerospace engineering. You need to, if you are choosing masters in aerospace engineering, you need to choose either satellites, cube satellites, or drones, UAVs. So then your full path, for example, is already, quite a deciding factor. All your projects, if you're choosing drones, all your projects will be related to drones. And if you choose satellites, aerospace, space engineering, then your full projects will be going through CubeSat and satellites projects and preparing those. If you are studying in aviation mechanics in bachelor's, then it is related more to aircraft dynamics, aircraft mechanics, and as well electronics, and avionics. But basically, the projects that you do are related to your studies. Additional projects that we have, creative projects and so on. In the faculty, there are many students that are working with that. And we have also this club of aerospace engineers, which meet after the lectures and so on. Is it an option to choose elective course from other faculties? Yes. During your third and fourth years of studies, you will have a free choice subject available in your curriculum, for which you can choose subjects that are available in the whole university. From other faculties, even from all sports subjects, or even arts, artistic expression, and things like that. So there are around 9 ECTS credits, so meaning 3 subjects for 3 CTS credits that you can take freely from any other faculty, that are not coming from your course, from your study program. Do practicing professionals from international companies teach at the university? Yes. We do have quite a lot of practicing professors and lecturers that are coming from the companies. Because this is the area, of our engineering, technologies, IT, and so on. We need to have people coming in from the companies. We have a company member in each study committee of a study program. So meaning that study programs are as well created like that, so they do meet the requirements of the businesses. What we say as well, that we prepare graduates that are ready to work already in the market. They do not need to be retrained by the companies and so on. Our graduates do get the latest knowledge that is needed right now in the market, and that is now up to date. So for sure, and we also held the biggest career fairs here in Vilnius. So over 200 companies do come here to the university to recruit students, actually, to give their offers, to train them, and so on. So a huge career days, biggest in Vilnius, actually, what is happening here. Yeah. How's the grading system organized, and is there an opportunity for retakes? Yeah, so students, we have a 10-point grading system with 5 as the lowest passing mark. All students must pass the exams. We at the university, we use the cumulative grade point, meaning that up to 70% of your final mark you can earn during your semester while submitting laboratory works, homeworks, participating in the activities, writing middle tests, and so on. Up to 10% of the final mark can be added up as well for active participation in the lecture. So if you are active in discussions and in all kinds of different activities, you can as well earn a part of your mark. All interim activities need to be passed in a passing grade, so meaning at least 5 needs to be earned in order to proceed to go to the final exam. For the final exam, the students will have 3 options to take the exam. There is one, the main take option, the second retake option, and the third is a paid retake option. So if you are unsuccessful with the take of the exam and retake of the exam, then 2 weeks after the exam session, there is an option to participate in the third retake with the commission. You need to pay 35 euros for this retake, and you can try to eliminate your debt. But please note that your further interim subjects and interim tasks need to be passed as well. Another question: which companies have the closest partnership ties with the university? Many companies. Of course, the closest ties would be with the national companies, because we do provide, graduates to our main sectors like energy sector, electricity sector, aviation sector, and so on. So I would say this would be, the closest partnership, because they have the direct interest of getting the graduates from the university. But also we have the very, very good connections with many IT companies, big IT companies, aeronautics companies, civil engineering companies, So I would say, let's notice that the Vilnius Tech is a main technical university of the country. So every company that is operating here in Lithuania has an interest in our graduates if their fields of studies are engineering, technologies, and IT. Yeah. What are the key innovation projects currently being developed in LinkMenų Fabrikas? Yeah, LinkMenų Fabrikas is not an innovation hub, it is a creativity center. So there are all kinds of different small projects we are working on. They're doing a lot of things that are related as well now to sustainability, to virtual reality as well. But these are student projects or small projects, or we have companies that are working on some kind of interesting projects that our makers are working with. We had some interesting projects, for example, with our telecommunications company Tele2, and we wanted to do a flying house, which is going on balloons. Like there was a movie about that, and which goes on the speed of internet. So actually our makers made this house and so on, and it was like a very interesting project, and creatively as well. Overall, LinkMenų Fabrikas is not a research area, but at the university we have many research institutes and national missions, and as well on which we are working on. So we are very strong now on cybersecurity. We have a huge mission of sustain, live, work. It means sustainable living, working conditions on everything, including a lot of AI things. So for sure, we are working on a lot of innovative things here in the university. And it means if we are good in research, if we are working on this, whatever is in our labs, the next day it is in our classrooms. So it is really important that you study from the best. Yeah. Does the study schedule allow for part-time work? Actually, yes. Depending, of course, what kind of part-time work you are having. If your part-time work is not on the specific hours, if you are freelancing and so on, or delivering food or taxi driving or something like that, these are the very typical part-time jobs that we have. When it is fully possible to do it with your studies. If you have a daily life and so on, like daily work, then you need to check your schedule, and you need to see which hours are suitable for your work. Usually during the day, students have around 2 free lectures, so meaning that would be 4-6 hours of studies. Yeah. Another question: what percentage of graduates find a job in their field within the 6 months? Oh, very interesting statistics you are asking me. Yeah, but I would say in our university-wide statistics, 97% of graduates do find the work in their field of studies in 1 year. I do not have statistics in half a year, I'm sorry. Yeah, because in Lithuania we do get 1 year statistics. Another question: which countries and universities are the most popular for Erasmus Plus exchange? Oh, very personal, very personal, Germany is quite popular, we have also, because and Scandinavian countries are very popular because we do teach in English. We have a lot of study subjects in English and so on. So very problematic to go to France, to go to Portugal and Spain, because the universities, they claim that they offer studies in English, but in the end the students are requested to study in Spanish, in Portuguese, or in other languages which are not their languages that they know. So there are many opportunities, over 400 partner universities all over the world, not only European countries, but you can as well participate in Erasmus World applications, which are where you can go to USA, to China, and to other countries like outside EU. Another question: is there an opportunity to complete a summer internship abroad? Yes. Also under Erasmus Plus, you can get funding for the internship abroad, which would cover your living expenses. Yeah. So another question: does the Career Center assist in finding internships or the first job? Yeah, we have an assistance, and as I said, we also held a career day Our career center as well offers, training on how to preparing your CV, mock interview preparation, and so on. But the biggest event, of course, is our career days, where we have over 200 companies that are coming here to the campus with their booths, with their internship offers, job offers, games and plays, and so on. So it is held actually in April, before summer, before graduation, and so on. So the students do look for it through this day. It is the main event. Another question: what is your main piece of advice for this year applicants? Oh yeah, so submit your applications early. Don't wait until the last minute, because we also see that we get on the last day of deadline, we get like insane amount of new applicants registered. So for sure, it takes us a much longer time to process those, and then delays start happening. So my suggestion would be, if you are interested, you don't need to pay any application fees and so on. Register in our system at apply.vilniustech.lt, submit your application, pass your interview, so you don't get stressed in this summer period, in the last days, of admission. You also will have exams happening and things like that. So it is much better to complete things right now, and yes, submit your application, we have admission, and be chill, prepare for your exams and prepare coming to Lithuania. So that is an advice how to avoid the huge stress, and also prepare for your interview and don't use ChatGPT. We see it very, very, very quickly. Yeah. Another question: how does the applied artificial intelligence program differ from classical computer engineering? I don't know what you call classical computer engineering. Maybe classical computer science. Yes, computer engineering is also a study program, but it's not very classical overall, because it has a software and hardware together. It is within the Faculty of Electronics. And applied artificial intelligence study program is within the Faculty of Mechanics. Why applied artificial intelligence? It is mainly on automation. It is all the AI things, what we use, and all the IT systems in there, what we learn is for the automation and production automation, for the robots and so on. So actually it is quite different. And if you are looking for a classical, like computer science study program, that would be our information technology study program. Or if you are looking for like artificial intelligence, artificial in IT sector fully, so artificial intelligence systems study program would be your choice, actually. One more question: does the university support student startups, funding and mentoring? Yes, we do have an accelerator for the startups. We do have as well hackathons and competitions where the students can present their ideas to the companies to win some funding and so on. So yeah, we do have these activities in the university, and we have quite some spin-offs actually coming from the university. Yeah. One more question: what laboratories are available for studying nanotechnology and biomedical engineering? So these are again two very different fields of studies. Nanotechnology is the molecular, cell, biological and chemical things. So usually for nanotechnology, our students, we have a very close cooperation with the Cancer Research Institute in our Santaros clinics, the main clinics. So I would say that the main laboratories are in there, but as well we do have all kinds of equipment with the microscopes and tossing machines and everything what is needed for the bioengineers and nanotechnology, nanobiotechnology students. For biomedical engineering, biomedical engineering is engineering of medical equipments as well as rehabilitation and artificial body parts and like artificial joints, artificial bones and hearts, vascularities and things like that, artificial teeth. So this all goes under biomedical engineering, and this is actually an engineering degree which also asks for some medical knowledge which is needed, like human anatomy and physiology. You know, if you are working with rehabilitation equipment, then you need to understand how human body works and so on. You know, and we have for sure greatest labs on human body testing and on muscle, working with muscles and so on. Another question, do students have the opportunity to work with supercomputers or cloud computing during their studies? No, we do have supercomputers and actually with cloud computing for sure, but our supercomputers are working with specific research that we are working on now, very related to cybersecurity and AI. So if you are involved in the research, yes, you will get a chance to work on the supercomputers. Otherwise, we do all kinds. We teach students, but more in a simulation mode, not on a full working with the supercomputers. For cloud computing, yes, we do have, each student even has their own cloud in the university available. But as well, for example, what I teach students, we usually teach in the simulation, in this virtual environment. Another question, is there an opportunity to earn professional certifications, example, Bloomberg or CFE during the studies? Yeah, for Bloomberg, we do have, if you study in our financial engineering study program, you can earn Bloomberg certificates, and also our Faculty of Business is now undergoing ASCBE accreditation. So as well, additional certificates will be provided once the accreditation passes. We hope to get it in June. Yeah. Do we have additional questions? Yeah, one more question. What research is being conducted at the university regarding smart cities and energy efficiency? Good question. I would suggest to check out Sustain Live Work project that we have here in the university. And as well, if you just check out Vilnius Tech Smart Cities, and you will find a lot of information. We are trying to cover every aspect, including energy, movement, cars, you know, all kinds of software that is needed and so on. So as well simulations and yeah, a lot of different aspects from all kinds of different faculties. If you look into civil engineering, then we're looking at the smart building material, at smart buildings and so on. If you look at the transport engineering faculty, we are looking at the autonomous vehicles. We are looking at the infrastructure and, for example, traffic lights and so on. If you look from the Faculty of Electronics, we have an energy efficiency, we have artificial intelligence, and so on. So the part of smart cities is covered from all kinds of different researchers from our faculties. Yeah. One more question, state scholarships, how competitive are the 70 states grants for master's studies, and are there any priority fields and programs? Yeah, these are quite competitive for sure. We see that the competition is happening in some very specific countries that we have a very small amount of grants, but very large amount of applicants. For example, last year there was only 10 grants for Azerbaijan, Georgia, and Kazakhstan, I think, for those 3 countries, and we had over 300 applications from only these 3 countries. But for example, as I know, for Ukrainians, for sure, tryout, the priority is IT, cybersecurity, and biotechnologies. So if you are interested in these fields, I think it is for sure possible to get a state scholarship. Do we have any more questions? Are we overspending our time? Not sure. Can Ukrainian students get a tuition discount or financial aid due to the war situation? Other state university support programs? Yes, I think I already covered it quite a lot. 40% discount from the university side. For masters, you can get a state scholarship, which also covers living expenses. And as well, there is no application fee for Ukrainian students. Yeah. One more question. Job search after graduation. What exact support does the university provide during the 1 year a graduate can stay in Lithuania? Yeah. We provide support until you are in the university. After graduations, for sure, you will need to find everything on your own. But as I already mentioned many times, but we held career fairs. We have a full career center, which helps to the students to prepare their CV, their mock interviews. We have over 200 companies coming to the campus with their job offers, internship offers, and so on. Check out Work in Lithuania. There is also a specific website which posts job, internship, and all kinds of offers for foreigners specifically, not for Lithuanians. So there are many supports, and as well as I said, our government is now looking into how to get more students to stay after graduation, more international students to stay and work in Lithuania. So we will also have incentives like paid internships and so on. But at this moment, we still do not have those, but there are many talks in the government about that. Yeah. One more question, in general question, but interesting. Does the university participate in international competitions? If so, which ones? I'd love to check them out. Yeah, I'm sorry, I will not be able to tell you all the competitions that university is participating, but for sure, each field of study, they do have their specific competitions that are international. For example, student formula. So our students from mechanics and transport engineering faculty, they participate in this international student formula competition. There is a coding competition that is happening for IT students. I know that one professor is preparing students for that, and they will be now going to France to participate in there. For example, for the creative students, they do participate in some international film or movie competition and so on. So I think professionally, each study program, like each field of studies, do have, push students to participate in the competitions, but of course not every year we are very successful. Sometimes we win, sometimes we lose, depending on the students that are participating, as well as more sports competitions. Also, we had this European cell games, they're called. So all of our sportsmen, they are going to represent university in that competition. So I'm sorry, but I work in the central building. I do not work very closely to each of the faculties. So at this point, I'm unable to share much more, but I think you can try to Google or to ask AI, and you will find more answers in there. Thank you. So I think our questions are over. So thank you so much for participating. One more time, I want to share with you our contacts. Yeah. So submit your applications online at apply.vilniustech.lt. As well, if you have any questions, you can contact us in the application system. There is a messaging option. You can also contact us via social media, via Instagram and via Facebook or Messenger. You can, find Vilnius Tech International, and let's get in touch. Yeah.
Дякую. Вижу, що питань більш нема. Вже усі відповіли, мабуть. Так. Ну, все, це будемо завершувати. Все, дякую, Давіль, за гарну доповідь і відповіді на питання. Так. Все.
Thank you.
Дякую всім, хто був з нами на цій презентації. Все, до побачення. Слідуюча презентація за півгодини. Напевно. Все, бай-бай.